Hey, what's up, Spencer? My name is everybody, and welcome back to my channel. You know, when I was growing up, I watched some of the best kid shows around. You know, Sesame Street, Blue's Clues, Dora the Explorer, and they taught me some pretty important things. Counting, spelling, and that if you want somebody to stop doing something, all you need to do is say it 3 times in a row. In today's day and age, there's so many kid shows out there teaching us so many different things, and there's always new shows coming out to fill in the cracks that the other kid shows might be missing. John Dillerman is a Danish children's TV show that is filling a very specific niche that every other kid show neglects to address. That your dick is an extendable pogo stick that you can use like an octopus-style arm. I was first introduced to Mr. Dillerman in one of John Oliver's Last Week Tonight web exclusive shows back in mid-July. So this show was supposedly created with the help of child psychologists and mental health experts and is intended to desexualize the penis so that there's a more body positive attitude around kids' genitals and stuff like that. But I think they might have missed the mark, seeing as their IMDb page is tagged with phrases such as sexual abuser, male objectification, physically challenged man, and Scandinavian rape culture. So I have the first 3 episodes here for us to go over, and honestly, I'm not really sure why they have been tagged with these phrases, because all the show is about is a man who likes to touch things with his stick, like objects and dogs and children, and now that I'm saying it out loud, yes, it makes a lot of sense. Alright, so let's jump right in.
John Dillerman, han er verdens længste Dillerman. Der er næsten ikke noget, han ikke kan med det. Han kan svinge den rundt.
So I'm not sure who was in charge of the animation choices for this show, but these clay figurines look like they've been made by a 7-year-old whose mom accidentally misread the label on the cough syrup bottle. This episode starts off with John cooking some sausages, but oh no! The grill, it won't light! Wow. It's a good thing that his Diller is here to help. Oh yeah, I don't know if I said this before, but Diller is Danish for man meat, so his name is literally Mr. Dick Man. Mr. Dick Man. So when I first started watching this show, I assumed that John would have been able to control his own dick, but apparently it's a sentient creature that can do things on its own, which, once I thought about it, also made sense, because, you know, it has its own head. Thank you. I will be here all week. So John's great-grandmother comes out to yell at him, and I'm not really sure how this family dynamic works, because John looks like he's 40 years old, and my great-grandmother died when I was in 9th grade. So either John's great-grandmother is a vampire, or his Diller has influenced him into tricking this old lady that he is her great-grandson so that John can have room and board. I mean, I imagine it's hard to find a roommate when you have a dick that likes to touch everything, but I don't think that this is the way to go about it. 6.5. So John gets told that he needs to take the dog on a walk down to the square, and since the Diller burned up all the other sausages, John obviously wants to buy some new sausages, but goddamn, this dog just want to be sniffing wherever that sexy lady poodle pissed on 30 minutes ago. So it's a good thing that his Diller is once again here to help.
Jeg skal bare have en pose grillpølser, råbte John til købmanden. Jeg så gerne et diller. Værsgo. Nej, tak.
That merchant just said, "Excuse me, sir, are you sure that you need these sausages? Because it seems like you might have enough already." So great gas bag over here looks like she's still upset that John blew up the grill, so she's passively aggressively making him walk everybody's dogs to make up for it. Oh yes, John, honey, I know that you wanted to eat sausages, but you know, me and the neighbors are talking and you're just so good at walking the dogs. I mean, you hold onto their leash and go down the street. Sometimes you turn left, sometimes you turn right. Oh God, you're just so good at it. Please, you have to go and walk all of these dogs. They're just so good. Like, yeah, okay, Grandma, whatever, fuck it. So Diller is helpful once again by grabbing a sausage to lead the dogs. And for some reason, the sausage sounds like a fucking squeaky toy. Like, what is this guy making sausages out of rubber duckies or something like that? Why is it making this sound? Why?
Sej måde at gå tur på, råbte børnene.
Ja, det er jo smart. Ja.
Sej måde at gå tur på, råbte børnene.
Ja, det er jo smart. Ja.
I'm sorry.
Sej måde at gå tur på, råbte børnene.
Ja, det er jo smart. Ja.
Oh yeah, it's 4:30. Yeah. The show is so fucking crazy that even the subtitles have no idea what the hell is going on. So a cat appears, and the dogs make chase, and of course, hilarity ensues. But for some reason, the neighbors are there, watching John walk their dogs. Something tells me that one of these neighbors might have borrowed a cat from Mrs. Johannesson down the street. Don't worry though, she's got 23, so she won't miss one or two. At least that's what the 15-year-old boy down the lane is hoping. Sorry, I'm reading a book about serial killers, so John knocks over this like 3,000-pound statue somehow, and all of the dogs get away. And because the neighbors are chasing him, he decides to jump up and pretend to be the statue. And all the neighbors run by and don't see him. But like, how? How do you not notice a man in a striped swimsuit who's wearing a giant purple hat covering his whole entire face? How do you not notice that, huh? How? Whoever passed y'all on the eye exams better not be doing the driver's licenses, because if not, there's gonna be about 50 hit and runs coming up, because somehow you ain't see shit. Excuse you. So once everybody's gone, John goes, well, this doesn't concern me anymore. Time to go shove a giant sausage in my face, and starts to walk home. But then this weird voice comes to him and starts speaking.
John, den går vist ikke. Du har lovet at passe på hundene, og nu er de løbet væk. Så bliver deres ejer jo kede af det. Du ved jo godt, hvad der er det rigtige at gøre, John. Ja, Gud gør så, sagde John. Og så gik han ellers i gang.
At first, I thought that this was his dick talking to him, because if a sentient dick can do whatever it wants, wiggling all over the place, you'd think that it could talk to. But I don't think that it is. Might be the narrator or God or something like that. I don't know, but whatever the fuck it is, it tells him that he needs to be a good person and go and get the dogs back. And John's like, oh, fine, I guess so. The best burps. Subscribe down below for more belching. Rate them down below as well. Comment and subscribe about all of my burps, my beautiful burps. Fabulous. Okay, so now that I spent a solid 10 minutes burping off camera, let's get back into it. So, John comes up with the best plan ever to get these dogs back. First, he gets a truck from where? Who gives a shit? Then he climbs on the back, has somebody drive it, as he uses his stiller with the sausages on the end to go fishing for puppers. Yeah, with his stick. He fishes with his dick for dogs to bite on them, and then he lifts them into the truck. How? Why? Doesn't that hurt? I don't got one, but I would assume that it would. Anyway, so he gets all the dogs back, gives them back to the neighbors. Yay, everything is all fixed. End of episode 1. Like I said, only 5 minutes, so. So in this next episode, we can immediately see that his stiller, which was oh so helpful in the last one, is already getting him into trouble. Gam comes out. She ain't too happy.
Pak den væk, John. Diller hører til i bukserne. Og se nu, hvad du har gjort ved den stakkels nabo. Det er pinligt, sagde oldemor.
I'm totally vibing with Gigi over here. I cannot tell you how many times a day I got to tell old men to put their dick away on the geriatric psych unit that I work on. The weird thing is about getting old is that for some reason it makes you want to take all your clothes off. I really want to know how the physics of everything in this show works. For one thing, his swimsuit seems to be made out of the same material that Edna Mode made Elastigirl's outfit from. Second, where does his Diller go? I mean, it's like 20 feet long, which is the same length as your small intestine. So now I'm worried about his organs. Imagine this isn't even his dick, it's just a prolapsed small intestine that he has shooting out of him. He has immaculate muscular control over somehow. So Mima tells John to go on an adventure, but it's like, do you even know this guy? You've supposedly known him your entire life, and you want him to go into town to stay out of trouble? I've only seen the first episode, and I know that he's gonna get into shenanigans. So going into town, John gets to do a couple of good deeds. He helps a man put up his flag. He saves a baby from getting crushed by a car after his negligent mother pushes him into the street. And everything is fine and dandy until, for some reason, his Diller decides to be a dick and steal some kid's ice cream. Not only that, but the Diller doesn't even eat the ice cream or like give it to John to eat. He just throws it on a traffic light, busts that shit. It's one thing to steal a kid's ice cream, it's another to not even eat it. Like, that was just, why? Why? Besides being a dick, why is this dick such a dick? So to make all the kids stop crying, John goes and gets some balloons and gives it to them. And I love how the kids are like, all right, John, you want to be a dick? We can be dicks too. And they keep letting go of the balloons, so John has to go and grab them back and give them back to the kids. This show is the biggest dick measuring contest I've ever seen, like literally and figuratively. Like, what the fuck? At this point, John has had enough adventure, so he starts to go home. The traffic is all fucked up, so he has to go a different way until he sees the kids who he just gave balloons to. Oh no, they're about to run into traffic. Ah! But of course, this is also the point in which Diller's like, well, my karma meter is filled up for today, so I think I'm gonna head out. Once again, our narrator / God shows up to tell John what he needs to do. It's always very weird when this happens, but I guess it's required because the narrator needs to spoon. I love the poses that John does when he's really using his Diller because it always looks like he's got some earthbending pose going on. Yeah, Diller time. So John fixes everything by stopping all the cars, flicking that ice cream off the traffic light, which fixes it because, you know, that's how technology works. And the kids are so excited and so happy. They give all of his balloons to him, which then lifts him up in the air by his dick and floats him all the way home. I don't know why, but Tutu is always packing heat for some reason, which is extremely confusing to me because Denmark has the strictest gun laws in all of Europe, so you would think that they would want children to understand basic gun safety, such as don't shoot guns at each other. I've been shooting guns since I was about 9 years old, and my biggest pet peeve is when people don't practice proper gun safety, especially if you're a Republican. If you are pro-gun, you also have to be pro-gun safety. I'm looking at you, those people who leave their gun in their bedside table, especially who have children. You don't take out a weapon until you are ready to kill somebody with it. And that's what happens when you leave a weapon out, is it's ready to kill somebody with. Sorry, this is kind of a big pet peeve of mine, so let's jump on to the next episode. Please feel free to attack me in the comments down below for My opinions on having proper gun safety. Oh my God, this Diller is such a bad influence on John. First we had arson, then destruction of public property, now graffiti. At this rate, John's gonna be on the corner turning tricks for size queens in the next episode. So Diller goes inside the house and accidentally knocks over Marmy's vase and breaks it, which of course means that John now has to go into town to buy her a brandy new one. But because John doesn't have any money, he also has to go and get a job to make some moolah to buy a vase. So John goes to an accounting firm or something like that. I don't know, there's papers there. And Diller goes in, beats a bunch of people up, throws paper everywhere. I don't know why he thought that that would help, but for some reason he did, which is why he did that, I guess. Either that or he's just being a big old donk again. Next, John tries to be a windmill repairman or whatever the fuck those things are called. And then he goes to a sausage factory. And, well, I'll let you see what happens.
Men det synes John altså var en virkelig dårlig idé. For kan du gætte, hvad der skete?
Nej, Diller, det vil vi ikke. Men Diller!
John fik selvfølgelig dilleren lige i pølsemaskinen.
My favorite part of that is how after, when he's walking away, his Diller's dragging behind him in a whole sausage link still. So John comes across these street musicians and they are fucking stacked. Yo, making that money, dollar bills. Diller hasn't committed theft yet, so he does. Check that one off the list. And while John is running from the police, his Diller goes inside the store, buys him a fancy new vase, and then they hide in a trash can. Stanky, stanky! And then here's our part where the narrator shows up, says you gotta do the right thing, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how, because it's not like you can give them the vase instead of their money. But John goes back and says, oh, I'm so sorry about that man, that my dick was being a dick. And the musicians are okay with that? I'm sorry. What? I don't care if your Narnar is on her deathbed. It is not okay for you to be taking my hard-earned money and spending it on the ugliest fucking bass I've ever seen. So to make everything up to the musicians, John strings his Diller up, plays it like a bass, makes a whole bunch of money. Look at this. I was right. At the end of this episode, John is turning tricks on the street corner for cash. Like, what did I say? Diller. All right, guys, so what did you think of John Dillerman? This show is fucking insane. I think this is definitely something that you want to like put up on the TV at a party, especially if all of your friends are drunk, because this is hilarious. I watched this with my friend Michael. It was a great time. If you like this video, you know what to do. And also follow me on social media, and you can also help me out on Patreon now. I will have that all linked down below. But besides that, make sure you stay safe, get vaccinated, and have a fantastic day. Bye!